If you're thinking of being an insurance agent or you're thinking of being a financial advisor in Canada, in today's video, I'll be sharing you three different companies you need to be careful of when it comes to making a decision of what company you need to pick. I've worked with one of those companies before and I've been approached by a lot of different other companies. By the way, guys, this video is more for educational purpose and for you to make a decision for yourself. I'm not against any insurance company, any commission, any entrepreneurship. I just believe some of these companies are more structured as a MLM. Did I see that right? MLM. Yeah, they're more structured as an MLM. So the first company to be mindful about is a company which they call themselves, they feel like they're on top of the world. You should figure out that by yourself. I worked with this company a while ago, and there's so much hype on culture. There's a huge hype on culture. I feel there's no much sales training going on in the company. There's always events going on which you have to pay for. Yes, I understand you get to learn on events, but these events are more focused on numbers, like how many recruits do you have and how many sales have you had within the past years or months, and nothing really focused on sales training, on how you can make sales for yourself and how you can be a better agent for yourself. Um, the second one is the commission structure. The commission structure is always based on how much recruits you have. So for you to get, like, let's say for example, you start with a 20% commission level. You start from 20%. As much recruits you have under you, building your pipe and your team, you get to you get to have more of those commissions. From 20, you can be up to 50% depending on how many recruits you have under your team, right? And a business which is based on how much recruits you have is not really a sustainable business, right? There's also a huge pressure for you to talk to friends and family. Friends and family are one of the first thing to they tell you to approach. And we all know most of the times friends and family they don't want to buy from you. So you need to look for ways to generate your own leads. It's hard to get leads sometimes if you don't know the right way and systems to get leads. So you get stuck um, in a pickup truck. I don't know, but yeah. A second company you should be mindful about is a company which is, if you're the Prime, like Amazon Prime, yeah, something like that. It's also structured more like a MLM. You get to recruit people, but these guys they strongly believe on buy term and invest the difference, which is not something I'm against, but I just believe it's highly pushed as a universal solution for everyone, which that's where the problem is. Where you tell everyone to buy a term insurance and invest the difference, I don't feel like that works for everyone. And it's just different. When it comes to investing, insurance, it all depends on your timeline. It depends on your risk tolerance. It depends on how much money you have. It depends on the family, the income, it depends on debt you have as well. Like there's so many factors when it comes to investment and insurance. But I feel like this company, they just believe on one strategy or one size fit all. That's where the problem is. And the third company I would want to talk about is another company which they believe they're an expert. Expert? Yeah. It feels like they're an expert in what they do. This one's they're more structured in a way which is a little bit professional, and but they're still structured in the same way of, recruiting people and building your chain and your pipe for you to get more commission from them. I believe there's no much of sales training actually going on too as well, and there is no lead source. So you need to get your own leads as well, right? No one is going to give you leads. But sometimes these companies they don't mention all this. They just tell you, they oversell you the dream, right? They tell you like, hey, you can make 10,000 in 1 month. You can make 20,000 in 2 weeks. Stuff like that, which is probably true if you put in the work. But a business which is structured in a way you have to recruit people under you, and the commission structure is based on how many people you recruit, is not really a sustainable business. And also there's no lead source, so you need to go extra miles to get your own leads, right? So Guys, be mindful of these three companies when it comes to you making a decision of what career paths you want to pick for yourself. If you want to be an insurance agent or you want to be a financial advisor, um, just be mindful of these companies. Anyways, I'll say this: the past few months, I made a switch to working in a more professional, structured company. I feel like my business has grew more, and I've actually grown personally as well. But this video isn't to bash or say bad things about any of this company. There's actually people who do so well in all these companies. And of course, I did learn one or two things from these companies I worked with before. Um, but there's a lot of people there who are not making money too, which is actually a big problem, right? So before you make a switch into what companies, what career, or what companies you want to work with directly, you should ask three of these questions. First is, what are the sales training there? What kind of sales training do you have going on? How can I be a better sales agent? How can I serve more people out there, more families, right? How can I structure a plan that's actually tailored for my clients' goal, their dreams, their income, not just a one size fit all, right? The second question should be, what are the commission structure? What are my commission based on? Is it 100% based on the value I provide, or it's based on how much people I can recruit and get under my own team? So you should ask this question. And the third one should be, how do I get leads? Where are my leads coming from? Without no leads, there is no sale. So you have to be actually strategic, or you have to need to ask this question: where are my leads coming from? Are you guys going to give me leads that I can call, or I have to get leads for myself? Which is actually something most of these companies they don't talk about, right? So ask these three questions, and I hope it helps you make a good decision on what companies you want to work with. It's 2026, guys. Like and share and send this to someone you know might need to hear this. Peace.